Hello guys and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to talk about the new car. Um, I'm thinking about this topic for a longer time at the moment, and now since 2 months ago I have a real job. I have a real job. I have decent wage, so I earn money. So I'm now able to buy a more expensive car. And that part got me thinking, what car am I going to get? Well, I'm 100% sure it's going to be a hatchback again, because I'm completely sold on the term hatchbacks. They're practical, they're not too big, they're fun to drive, and they're big enough for me. I'm only driving myself most of the time. Sometimes I have a few passengers or a little bit of luggage, but nothing big. So I don't need a station wagon, I don't need an SUV. And for a two-door sports coupe, it's not practical for me. So I'm very 100% sure I am going to get a new hatchback. But which one? Because there are a lot of hatchbacks, that's true. And I'm also going to make that list smaller. It needs to be a hot hatchback. It's true, my next car needs to make at least 300 horsepower, and I'm going to tune the car. It's going to be a project car. I'm going to do stuff with it. So the new car will be a lot faster than the current one. Because as you could see on BMW World, I got my ass kicked by everyone over there. My car is it's 115 horsepower. It has a top speed of 200 kilometers an hour and hits 0 to 100 in 10 seconds. It's not the slowest car in the world, that's for sure, because you can have worse numbers, that's a fact, but it's far from fast. There are way faster cars, and my hunger for a faster car has been growing each day. When I come against other people who have hot hatchbacks and they race against me because of my sound, they think I have fast car also, and I get my ass kicked time over time over time, and I'm tired of that. I want to join the fast car group. So yeah, we are going to get a new car for the channel. And what are we going to do with the old one? Well, there's a 90% chance we're going to sell it. It may depends. Maybe my girlfriend takes over the car when the current one breaks or costs too much to fix, or she's thinking about a job where she gets a car from her job, but it's not sure she will have that job. So we are maybe keeping the 1 Series, or we may selling it. So we don't know that. The fact is, it's still a good car, but it has 144,000 kilometers at the moment. I heard that a lot of 116i start having problems above 160. So I may have 20,000 kilometers left with it without doing big costs. But I want to get rid of the car before it's starting to cost too much money, because I want to save money for the new one. And what is the new one going to be? Well, I already know it, but I'm going to show a few cars, and I'm gonna tell you why it could have been it and why it will never be it, because I've decided which car I'm going to get, and I'm talking about the least likely one I'm going to ever buy, and then building up to the car I will eventually buy. So I'm gonna show it on the TV with my iPad, and I'll tell you about the first car right now. The first car I'm 100% sure I will never buy is this one. It's making connection and it will show up right now. The Honda Civic Type R. Well, why am I not getting this car? Well, for instance, it's a Honda Civic, and that should explain enough. It's not my type of car. The people who drive it are bollocks. Most Honda Civic drives I know are just straight up assholes. They drive like retards, they look like retards, and they tune their car like retards. So I'm not going to join that club. That's the people. What's wrong with the car? Well, first of all, the looks. It looks like a riced out car from factory, and it's just not my style. It's not what I want. It's not what I'm looking for. I don't think it looks terrible or it looks very ugly, but it's not what I want. Also, it's front wheel driven. I prefer my car to be rear wheel driven or 4-wheel driven, all-wheel drive, 4x4. So front wheel driven car will probably never be my daily driver. The good things about it, it's a manual, that's what I want, and it has 320 or 326 horsepower, so it's pretty fast. We're not going to discuss about that. The power-wise, it's a good car power-wise. So the specs are there, just it's front-wheel drive, and the looks are not my thing. Then, what is the other car I'm almost certain I will never get? That's this one, the Golf R. And again, it's because of the people. With the car, it's nothing wrong, but it's the people. Again, a lot of Golf drivers here in my neighborhood. You see these cars, way too many. A Golf, no one looks at it because you see it everywhere, every day. It doesn't look special. It just looks like Golf. You have Golf with R's, R badges, with just R bumpers, and only except with the 4 triple exhaust tips. No, 4 triple, it's not right. I mean, the 4 exhaust tips, you can see it's a Golf R. It doesn't sound special, it doesn't look special, and most people I know who drive a Golf are fucktards. I don't like them. So again, it's the same story. It's not my type of people and not my type of car. The specs of the car, again, you can get it with a very good automatic, or you can get it manual. So there's nothing wrong with that. You can get a manual, and that's what I want, and it's all-wheel drive. So actually it has the specs I want. Then the other thing, it has 306 horsepower, so it has the power I want, but still I will never get it, just because it looks way too standard. It's not my type of car, and it's not what I'm going to get. Then the next car, the Renault Megane RS. Why I'm not going to get it? First, it's a French car. That explains everything. It's a French car. Second, I think it's too expensive for what you get. Third, I've sitting in the car and I'm not a big fan of the interior. Also, the Golf interior looks pretty standard. This car's interior, also not my thing. The power, it's only 280 horsepower, so it's actually too slow for me, and it's front wheel driven. So that's not right. This is why it's not for me. Also, I had, a guy from Renault, and he said I could work for him, and then he treated me badly, and that's why I have something against Renault. So I'm not going to get a Renault ever. So yeah, the good thing is it's manual, and I think it looks pretty decent. So the looks are there, and it's a manual. You have it in manual and you have it in automatic, I think. But yeah, just power wise and front wheel driven, it's not my type. Also, it only has a 1.8 petrol engine, which I think is too small for a car which should be a hot hatchback. So yeah, not my type of vehicle. Then the next vehicle I will never likely ever get is this one. And I actually don't have a lot of excuses for it. The only things, I'm just not sold on the looks. I don't think it's an ugly car, but I'm not sold on the looks. It's way too expensive. And that's about it actually, I think. And it doesn't come in a manual. I'm not sure actually. But I'm just not sold on the looks. Otherwise, it's a very fast car. Power-wise, is there. It's four-wheel driven, so it's there. But I'm just not sold on the looks, and I think my car should look good, and I need to love it. But yeah, it's not my cup of tea. The next car, and now we are taking progress on cars which have more chance of being my next one, but probably won't be. The next one is this, the Peugeot 308 GTI. And you may think, why the hell do you choose this car above all the others you just showed? Well, for starters, I just work for Peugeot and I get a really good deal on a brand new one. I can get way under the sticker price, so that's very interesting. Also, they are fun to drive. I already know the car because my mom has the diesel version of it. It's a good car, it drives very well, very nimble, and it's pretty fast. But probably it won't be my next car because it has a 1.6 engine, 270 horsepower, it's too slow, and it's front wheel driven. So not the specs that I want. It's manual and it's very fun to drive, but still not. And I think it doesn't look that special either. I mean, from the front, do you see any difference with my mom's car? Except of the 19-inch rims and the GTI badge. If you just get the stock red color, you just get the rims, the exhaust tips, and that's it. So yeah, I think the car looks just a little bit tame. Sometimes that can be a lot of fun, because when you're driving against a car which is tuned very heavily, and they think you just have a shit Peugeot and you drive, very fast, they can shit themselves. But I'm not going to get this one. Also, the engine is, I never heard bad things about it, but the engine is actually, it doesn't have max high potential anymore, because it's a 1.6. It already has 272 horsepower, so it's very close to its limit already. You can get about a good 300 horsepower out of it, but I'm just thinking, if you get that amount of power out of a 1.6, how long is that engine going to last? Because my current BMW is also a 1.6, but it has 115 horsepower, so yeah. Let that sink in. The next car I will maybe get, is this one. And you may think, but this one doesn't have 300 horsepower. It has 275. It's front wheel driven. So, yeah, I know that. But I heard that tuning companies can get this easily above 350. And yeah, it's front wheel driven. That's actually currently the only thing that's holding me back. I've heard rumors that there's going to be a 4x4 version of it. It has a manual, that's a nice thing. And the sound is just epic. I've heard these cars a few times in real life. I've driven one actually a few months ago, and I think it looks pretty damn epic. It looks epic, feels epic, and it's actually very cheap for what you get. And that's actually maybe why I'll get it, because you get 5-year warranty, it's very cheap, it's pretty damn fast, it's very fun, it sounds incredible. The only thing is, my girlfriend doesn't like the look of the car. I want it in this blue color, but she wants it in gray if I would get it. But that's, it's my car, so she doesn't decide what color I should get. But yeah, this car has a decent chance of becoming the next car. Because I'm saying now that I decided which car I'm going to get, but it's not 100% sure. I mean, it can change. I'm not going to buy a new car the first 6 months of this year, so we're probably, a few months ahead, and maybe there's even a newer hot hatchback. So yeah, we will see. But the next car, which has a decent chance of becoming my next car, and we only have 3 cars left. So what is going to be the next one? Third place, Ford Focus RS. I think it looks mean. I think it looks mean. It has all the specs I want. 350 horsepower, all-wheel drive, manual, even drift mode. It launches freaking hard. It's fast. It looks cool. But why is it probably not going to be my next car? Well, because the ride is very firm. It's my daily driver, so it needs to be a little bit good drive on a daily base. You know, you have the head gasket problem with the engine. I don't think the 2.3 liter engine is a very good engine. I heard a lot of problems about it. Also, I don't like the interior. I think it's ugly. I've sitting in the Ford Focus RS and the interior looks, in my eyes, not that good. So that's probably why I won't get it. It still has a decent chance of becoming my next car. I'm a big fan of it, but it's probably not going to be it. Now the second car. Second place. Audi RS3. And I just love this vehicle. If money wouldn't be a problem, this would be my next car. Guaranteed. But that's a problem, money. This car has everything, except it's not in manual. And that's true. But this car has Quattro, 367 horsepower. This car showing has 400, but the version I want has 367, because that's a little bit cheaper. And the combination of the Quattro, the gearbox, and the power, this car launches under 4 seconds, and that's just amazing in hatchbacks territory. I mean, daily driven, you beat any car on the road with this. Even after the remap, you have easily above 400 horsepower. So this would be my next car, but why will it probably not be? Money. This car is just too expensive. It's just too expensive for the performance that you get because of the next car. I think the Ford Focus RS, it's slower, but it costs like 5 to 10,000 euros less than this one. I don't think the price difference is worth the performance difference. So this is why I probably not get this car. I really want this car, and maybe this will be the car after the next car. This will be the next car after, you know, the car on number 1. Maybe, we'll never know. Maybe in a few years. Maybe if this channel ever goes, you know, big enough to become a real car channel with decent stuff. So yeah, that's just something we will not know. Maybe this will become my next car if I decide to save up for it longer, but that means that we will not get a new car next year or 2 because of the money, and that's just too long. I'm not going to make content with 169 all the time. I want something new. And also, I heard that, you know, this car drives amazing, but the fun factor and the understeer is still lacking. So that's why I'm probably not going to get this car. But number 1, you may already know what hot hatchback I'm going to get. Yep, again a 1 Series. What can I say? It has a 3-liter engine, 6 in line, the only hatchback with a 3-liter engine. It's pretty damn fast. You can get it in X-drive or rear-wheel drive, and with a manual or an automatic. So it has everything you want, and I know the car already. It's fun to drive. I know, you know, the people from BMW already. Like the Beamer World Festival, I can go there with an Audi. I can't. You know this, I'm already in the ecosystem. I know the car, I know a lot about it, and I just thinking about getting this one. And I actually know a lot of modifications for this one. I'm not going to tell everything yet, but, you know, stuff like new wheels, an exhaust, a tune, and stuff like that. That's things that are coming for this car. I'm pretty damn sure I'm going to get it. in this color. The rims don't matter because I'm going to go for aftermarket rims. Then it's going to be a 5-door with black kidneys. It's going to be actually a previous version of this one. This is the facelift, but I'm going to get a pre-facelift because they're actually pretty cheap for not a lot of money. So yeah, I decided this is going to be the next car for the channel. So yeah, the next car is going to be the new BMW 1 Series 1M135i with 320 horsepower. I'm going to tune it easily above 400 horsepower, and then it's going to be a mean fast car. I have also other upgrades planned for it. I'm not going to spoil everything because it has to stay a little bit fun. But it's going to be a very nice project car. It's going to look epic. It's going to be a pretty damn epic nice car. I'm really looking forward to that. Also next year I'm going back to BMW World and BMW Fest, and then when the new drag races I'm also going to join, and then I'm not going to be humiliated again, because then I'll have a 400 horsepower 1 Series. I maybe don't win everything, but next time I'll hit higher speeds than 130 kilometers an hour. It's still not going to be the fastest car around the world. It never has to be, but it's going to be a fun, fast daily driver. So yeah, I hope you liked the news of the new car. Don't get too excited yet because the new car is not planned for. I don't think I'm going to get it before April 2019. So it's still it's still a long time, but it's decided what car I'm going to get. I'm going to save up for it right now, and when I get my real contract, because I'm still working not on a real contract. They just it's a trial contract just to know if I'm a good worker or not. But I think that's coming all right. I'm pretty damn sure I will get a real contract by the time. So it's the 1st January I get my new contract. By the time I get the real contract, I will looking into a new car. So yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to that when that day occurs. A new Beamer, 3-liter, above 300 horsepower. I hope I don't kill myself. I probably won't, but yeah. So I hope you guys like this video. It's not that action packed. I actually wanted to throw in some other stuff, but now I've seen it's already a pretty long video, so I'm going to quit and make the other stuff for our next video. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. See you guys, bye.